I almost forgot to feed Luna this morning. Can you believe that?
No way. You never forget Luna. What happened?
I woke up late. My alarm didn't go off. It was chaos.
That's so unlike you, Emma. You're the most organized person I know.
Well, even organized people have bad mornings sometimes.
True. Hey everyone, welcome to English Practice Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Emma. Today we're talking about something we all do every single day.
Daily routines. The things we do from morning to night.
If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell. It really helps us.
And leave a comment. We read every single one.
So Ben, speaking of this morning, what time did you actually wake up today?
Honestly, I hit the snooze button 3 times.
3 times? That's 15 extra minutes in bed.
I know. I'm not a morning person at all.
I've noticed. What time does your alarm usually go off?
6:30, but I don't actually get out of bed until almost 7.
That's interesting. I set my alarm for 6:15 every day.
6:15? That's so early. Why so early?
I like to have a slow morning. No rushing. Time for tea and yoga.
Yoga in the morning? I can barely open my eyes at that time.
It helps me feel calm and ready for the day.
My morning routine is very different. It's more like controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. I like that expression. What do you mean exactly?
I mean, I'm running around trying to find my keys, my wallet, my phone.
Every morning? You should have a special place for those things.
I should. But somehow they end up in different places every night.
Maybe we should talk about that today. How to build better routines.
Yes, and all the vocabulary that goes with daily activities.
Perfect. So let's start from the very beginning. The moment you wake up.
The worst moment of my day.
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad.
It is. My alarm goes off, and I feel like I could sleep for 3 more hours.
What kind of alarm sound do you use?
The most annoying one on my phone. Otherwise, I sleep through it.
I use a gentle sound. Birds singing. It's much nicer to wake up to.
Birds? That would never work for me. I need something aggressive.
To each their own, I suppose. So your alarm goes off at 6:30.
Yes, and then I hit snooze. You know what snooze means, right?
Of course. It's the button that gives you a few more minutes of sleep.
Exactly. Usually 5 or 10 minutes. Then the alarm goes off again.
And you hit it 3 times. So you finally get up at what, 6:45?
More like 6:50. Sometimes 7 if I'm really tired.
What's the first thing you do when you finally get out of bed?
I sit on the edge of the bed for a minute, just trying to wake up.
That's actually a good idea. Not jumping up too quickly.
Then I stumble to the bathroom. Stumble means walk in a clumsy way.
Like you're not fully awake yet.
Exactly. My eyes are half closed. I'm bumping into things.
What do you do first in the bathroom?
I use the toilet, obviously. Then I look at myself in the mirror.
And what do you see?
A mess. Hair going in every direction. Eyes still puffy from sleep.
Puffy? What does puffy mean?
Swollen. A little bit bigger than normal. Like when you've just woken up.
Ah, yes. I get puffy eyes sometimes too, especially if I didn't sleep well.
Then I splash cold water on my face. That helps wake me up.
Cold water? I prefer warm water in the morning.
Cold water is like a shock to the system. It really wakes you up fast.
I can imagine. Then you brush your teeth?
Yes, I brush my teeth for about 2 minutes. That's what dentists recommend.
Do you use an electric toothbrush or a manual one?
Electric. It does most of the work for me. I'm lazy in the morning.
I use a manual one. I like the control.
After brushing, I take a shower. A hot shower to relax my muscles.
Wait, you said cold water wakes you up, but then you take a hot shower?
I know, it sounds contradictory, but the hot water feels so good.
How long do you spend in the shower?
Maybe 10 minutes, sometimes longer if I'm thinking about things.
Thinking about things? Like what?
Work stuff mostly. Problems I need to solve. Meetings I have that day.
The shower is a good place for thinking. Something about the water.
For our listeners, how long do you usually shower? Let us know in the comments.
Good question. I'm curious about that too.
So after my shower, I dry off with a towel and get dressed.
What do you usually wear to work?
Business casual. Dress pants and a nice shirt. Sometimes a sweater.
No tie?
No tie, thankfully. My office isn't that formal.
That's nice. I work from home, so I wear comfortable clothes.
Like pajamas?
No, not pajamas, but yoga pants and a soft sweater. Comfortable but presentable.
Presentable? Why? No one sees you at home.
Luna sees me, and I have video calls sometimes.
Fair point. What about breakfast? Do you eat breakfast every day?
Absolutely. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day for me.
Really? I often skip breakfast. Just coffee.
Ben, that's not healthy. You need energy to start the day.
I know. But I'm never hungry in the morning.
What do you have when you do eat breakfast?
Usually something quick. Toast with butter. Maybe a banana.
That's not bad. At least it's something.
What about you? What's your typical breakfast?
I like to have oatmeal with fresh fruit. Berries, banana, sometimes apple.
That sounds healthy. And time-consuming.
It only takes about 10 minutes to prepare. Not that long.
10 minutes is a lot when you're running late like me.
Maybe you should wake up earlier.
Or go to bed earlier. That's probably the real solution.
Speaking of which, what time do you usually go to bed?
Too late. Usually around midnight. Sometimes later.
Midnight? And you wake up at 6:30? That's only 6.5 hours.
I know. I need to work on that.
Adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's what experts say.
I function okay on 6, but I could definitely use more.
Your body is probably just used to being tired.
Probably. Anyway, after my quick breakfast, I leave for work.
How do you get to work? You take the subway, right?
Yes, the subway station is about a 10-minute walk from my apartment.
That's a nice walk in the morning. Fresh air.
It is, when the weather is good. When it's raining, not so much.
Do you have an umbrella?
I have 3. I keep losing them on the subway.
That's a common problem. I think everyone has lost an umbrella.
The subway ride takes about 25 minutes.
What do you do during that time?
I listen to podcasts, usually, or music. Sometimes I read on my phone.
What kind of podcast do you listen to?
News podcasts, mostly, to catch up on what's happening in the world.
That's a productive use of commute time. Commute means the trip to work.
Exactly. The daily commute. Some people have very long commutes.
I'm lucky. My commute is from my bedroom to my home office.
About 10 steps?
Maybe 15. It's a hard life.
Very hard. So, what does your morning look like since you work from home?
Well, after I wake up, the first thing I do is feed Luna.
Of course, the cat comes first.
She's very vocal in the morning, meowing until she gets her food.
Vocal means she makes a lot of noise?
Exactly. She's very talkative. Meow, 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 until I open the can.
Then what?
Then I make myself a cup of tea. Green tea in the morning.
Not coffee?
No, I don't drink coffee. Too much caffeine makes me nervous.
I couldn't survive without coffee. I have at least 3 cups a day.
3 cups? That's a lot. Maybe that's why you have trouble sleeping.
I never thought about that connection.
Caffeine stays in your system for hours. It can affect your sleep.
Maybe I should switch to decaf in the afternoon.
That's a good idea. Decaf means without caffeine.
Or very little caffeine. Good point.
After my tea, I do about 20 minutes of yoga.
Every single morning?
Almost every morning. Maybe 5 or 6 days a week.
That's impressive. What does yoga do for you?
It stretches my body and calms my mind. I feel centered afterward.
Centered? Like balanced?
Yes, exactly. Balanced and ready to face the day.
I should try yoga sometime, but I'm not very flexible.
You don't need to be flexible to start. That's a common misconception.
Maybe I'll try it this weekend. Can you recommend a good video?
I'll send you a link. There are great beginner videos on YouTube.
Thanks. So after yoga, you start work?
After yoga, I take a shower and have breakfast. Then I start work.
What time do you usually start working?
Around 9, sometimes 8:30 if I have an early meeting.
That's reasonable. I usually get to the office around 8:45.
Do you have a routine when you first arrive at the office?
Yes, actually. First, I get another coffee from the kitchen.
Of course. Coffee number 2.
Then I check my emails. See what's urgent. What can wait?
How many emails do you usually have in the morning?
Too many. Sometimes 50 or 60 overnight.
That's overwhelming. How do you deal with that?
I scan the subject lines first. Deal with urgent ones immediately.
And the others?
I schedule time later in the day to respond properly.
That's a good system. Otherwise, emails take over your whole day.
Exactly. Then I check my calendar for meetings.
How many meetings do you have on a typical day?
3 or 4 usually. Sometimes more. It depends on the projects.
Meetings can be exhausting, especially back-to-back ones.
Back-to-back means one immediately after another, with no break.
Right. No time to breathe or prepare.
Those days are tough. I'm drained by lunchtime.
Drained? What does that mean?
Very tired. Like all your energy has been used up.
I feel drained after too many video calls, even at home.
Speaking of lunch, what's your lunch routine?
I try to take a proper lunch break, step away from my computer.
That's smart. I often eat at my desk.
That's not good for you. You need a mental break too.
I know, but sometimes there's just too much work.
What do you usually eat for lunch?
There's a cafeteria at my office. I get a sandwich or salad.
Do you eat with colleagues?
Sometimes. It depends on who's around and how busy I am.
Eating with others is nice. You can chat and relax.
True. It's a good break from work topics.
I usually make lunch at home. Leftovers from dinner often.
Leftovers are great. No cooking required.
Exactly. I just heat it up in the microwave. 5 minutes and done.
Do you take a walk during lunch?
Sometimes, if the weather is nice. Luna doesn't come with me, though.
She guards the house while you're gone?
She sleeps on the couch while I'm gone. Very hard work.
The life of a cat. So after lunch, back to work?
Yes. The afternoon is usually when I do my focused work.
Focused work? What do you mean?
Work that requires concentration. Writing, planning, problem solving.
Why in the afternoon?
Because my mornings are often filled with meetings and emails.
That makes sense. Block out time for deep work.
Exactly. Deep work is focused, uninterrupted work on important tasks.
I try to do that too, but interruptions are constant at the office.
That's the challenge of working in an office. So many distractions.
People stopping by your desk, asking questions.
Do you ever work from home?
Sometimes, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. It's much quieter.
I can imagine. What time do you usually finish work?
Officially, 5:30, but often it's later.
Later? Like 6 or 7?
Sometimes. It depends on deadlines and projects.
That's a long day. Do you at least take breaks during the afternoon?
I try to. A coffee break around 3, Maybe a short walk.
A coffee break is important. Time to rest your brain.
And socialize with colleagues. We chat about random things.
That's nice. Social connection is important at work.
What about you? Do you take afternoon breaks?
Yes, I usually have tea around 4, and I play with Luna for a bit.
Play with Luna? How do you play with a cat?
She likes to chase a little toy on a string. It's very entertaining.
For her or for you?
Both, honestly. I need the break, and she needs the exercise.
Speaking of exercise, let's talk about that for a moment.
Good idea. Physical activity is important for everyone.
Do you exercise besides yoga?
Yes, I go for walks, and I sometimes do online workout videos.
What kind of workouts?
Strength training mostly, using small weights at home.
I didn't know you did that. How often?
2 or 3 times a week. It's good for bone health.
That's smart. I go to the gym, but not as often as I should.
How often do you actually go?
Maybe twice a week, if I'm being honest. Sometimes once.
What stops you from going more?
Time, mostly, and energy. After a long day, the gym feels impossible.
I understand. That's why I exercise in the morning.
Before work, how do you have the energy?
I have more energy in the morning than in the evening.
You're definitely a morning person. I'm the opposite.
You're a night owl. That means someone who's more active at night.
Night owl. Yes, that's me. I come alive after dark.
And I'm an early bird. I love mornings.
Early bird and night owl. We're very different.
But we make a good team for this podcast.
True. So what happens after work? What's your evening routine?
First, I close my laptop and leave my office. That's important.
To separate work from personal time?
Exactly. If I keep my laptop open, I keep checking emails.
I have that problem too. Work follows me home.
You need boundaries. Turn off notifications after a certain time.
Good advice. What do you do first when work is done?
I usually go for a walk, about 30 minutes around my neighborhood.
Even after doing yoga in the morning?
Yoga and walking are different. Yoga is stretching. Walking is cardio.
Cardio? What does that mean?
Cardiovascular exercise. Exercise that makes your heart beat faster.
Like running or cycling?
Exactly. Walking is gentle cardio. Good for your heart and mind.
Do you listen to anything while you walk?
Sometimes music, sometimes nothing. Just the sounds around me.
That sounds peaceful. My commute home is the opposite of peaceful.
Crowded subway?
Very crowded during rush hour. Rush hour is the busy time for transport.
When everyone is going to work or going home at the same time.
Exactly. Packed trains, no seats, people pushing.
That sounds stressful.
It is, but I'm used to it now. I just put on my headphones and zone out.
Zone out? What does that mean?
Stop paying attention to your surroundings. Get lost in your thoughts.
That's a good coping strategy.
Coping means dealing with a difficult situation.
So what do you do when you get home?
First thing, I change out of my work clothes.
Into something more comfortable?
Yes, sweatpants and a t-shirt. The best feeling after a long day.
I agree. Comfortable clothes are essential for relaxing.
Then I usually sit on the couch for a bit. Just decompress.
Decompress?
Relax and let go of the stress from the day.
That's important. You need transition time between work and personal life.
Do you cook dinner or order food?
I cook most nights. It's actually relaxing for me.
Relaxing? Cooking seems like work to me.
I find it meditative, chopping vegetables, stirring things.
What do you usually make?
Simple things. Pasta, stir-fry, soup. Nothing too complicated.
How long does it take you to cook dinner?
About 30 to 40 minutes usually.
That's not bad. I order takeout too often.
Takeout is convenient, but expensive, and not always healthy.
I know. I'm trying to cook more. Learning new recipes.
That's great. What have you learned to make recently?
I can make a decent omelet now. And fried rice.
Those are good basics. You can build from there.
What do you do while eating dinner?
I watch TV usually. Something light and entertaining.
What kind of shows do you like?
Cooking shows, documentaries, sometimes comedy.
I watch a lot of series. Drama, thriller, that kind of thing.
Do you watch one episode or do you binge?
What does binge mean?
Watch many episodes in a row, one after another.
Oh, yes, I definitely binge, especially on weekends.
That can be dangerous. Suddenly, it's 2 in the morning.
That's exactly what happens. Just one more episode, I tell myself.
And then 3 hours later.
Exactly. My sleep schedule suffers.
Speaking of weekends, is your routine different on Saturday and Sunday?
Very different. I sleep in on weekends.
Sleep in. What does that mean?
Stay in bed later than usual, maybe until 9 or 10.
That's nice. I still wake up early on weekends.
Even without an alarm?
Yes, my body is used to it now. Luna also wakes me up.
Right. She needs breakfast regardless of the day.
Cats don't understand weekends.
What else is different about your weekend routine?
I take my time with everything. Longer breakfast, longer yoga.
Sounds relaxing. I just lie around mostly.
Lie around means stay in bed or on the couch doing nothing?
Exactly. Sometimes I don't get dressed until noon.
That sounds like a proper weekend rest.
It is, but I should probably be more productive.
Rest is productive. Your body needs recovery time.
I guess you're right. What about exercise? Do you exercise more on weekends?
Sometimes I go for a longer walk or meet a friend for yoga class.
You do yoga with friends?
Yes, there's a studio near my house. I go on Saturday mornings.
That's nice. Combining exercise with social time.
Exactly. And we get coffee afterward. Well, I get tea.
Do you have any other weekend rituals?
I clean my apartment on Saturday. A proper deep clean.
Deep clean? What does that involve?
Vacuuming, mopping, cleaning the bathroom, doing laundry.
Ugh, that sounds exhausting.
It's satisfying, though. Everything feels fresh afterward.
I should probably clean more often than I do.
How often do you clean?
Honestly, not often enough. Maybe every 2 weeks for a real clean.
That's okay. Everyone has different standards.
What about grocery shopping? When do you do that?
Sunday morning, usually. The stores are quieter then.
I hate grocery shopping. I do it as quickly as possible.
I actually enjoy it. Walking through the aisles, choosing fresh food.
Aisles are the walkways between the shelves in a store?
Exactly. I like to take my time and compare products.
For me, in and out as fast as possible.
What do you do with the rest of your weekends?
I see friends sometimes, go to restaurants or bars,
That's nice. Social time is important.
and I catch up on things I couldn't do during the week.
Like errands?
What are errands exactly?
Small tasks you need to do. Going to the bank, the post office, picking up things.
Yes, exactly. Running errands on Saturday.
Running errands. That's the common expression.
Even though we usually drive or walk, not run.
It's just an expression meaning to do these tasks.
English is strange sometimes.
It really is. So, listeners, what about you? Is your weekend routine different?
Tell us in the comments. We'd love to know.
Let's talk about something important: productivity and habits.
Good topic. I need help with that.
What's the biggest challenge for you?
Staying focused. There are so many distractions.
At work or at home?
Both, honestly. My phone is the biggest problem.
Do you check it often?
Too often. Every few minutes, sometimes.
That breaks your concentration completely.
I know. Any suggestions?
Turn off notifications. Or put your phone in another room.
That sounds difficult.
It is at first, but you get used to it.
What about building good habits? Any tips?
Start small. Don't try to change everything at once.
Give me an example.
If you want to exercise more, start with 5 minutes a day.
Just 5 minutes?
Yes, it's about building the habit first. Then you increase.
That makes sense. Small steps.
Exactly. And attach new habits to existing ones.
What do you mean?
Do the new thing right after something you already do.
Like, after I brush my teeth, I do 5 minutes of stretching?
Perfect example. That's called habit stacking.
Habit stacking. Interesting technique.
It works really well. You should try it.
I will. Thanks for the advice.
What about exercise? Do you exercise in the evening?
Sometimes I go to the gym after work. Maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
That's good. What do you do at the gym?
A bit of everything. Weights, treadmill, sometimes a class.
What kind of class?
Spinning, usually. It's intense, but fun.
Spinning is cycling on a stationary bike, right?
Yes, in a group, with loud music and an instructor yelling at you.
That sounds intense. I prefer yoga, as you know.
Everyone is different. The important thing is to move your body.
Absolutely. Any movement is better than none.
For those listening, what exercise do you like? Tell us in the comments.
Great question. I'd love to hear what people do.
So, what do you do in the evening after dinner?
I read usually, or listen to a podcast. Sometimes I call a friend.
You actually call people, not just text?
Yes, I like hearing people's voices. Texting is nice, but not the same.
I mostly text. Phone calls feel like a big commitment.
A commitment?
Like you need to set aside time. Texting is quick and easy.
That's true. But you miss the connection of a real conversation.
Maybe I should call my mom more often.
She would probably love that.
What time do you usually start getting ready for bed?
Around 9:30 or 10. I like to wind down slowly.
Wind down? What does that mean?
Gradually relax and prepare for sleep. Not doing stimulating things.
So no exciting TV shows right before bed?
No. I might read a book or do some gentle stretching.
What about your phone?
I try to stop looking at my phone an hour before bed.
An hour? That's hard. I'm on my phone right until I fall asleep.
The blue light from screens can disrupt your sleep.
I've heard that, but I can't seem to stop.
Maybe try leaving your phone in another room.
Then how would I hear my alarm?
Buy an actual alarm clock. Old school, but effective.
That's actually not a bad idea.
What's your nighttime routine, Ben?
I brush my teeth, wash my face, get into bed.
That's it?
Pretty much. Sometimes I watch videos on my phone until I'm sleepy.
That's probably why you have trouble falling asleep.
Probably. I should read a book instead.
Reading before bed is great. It makes your eyes tired naturally.
What are you reading right now?
A novel about a woman traveling around Japan. It's lovely.
That sounds nice. I haven't read a book in months.
Maybe start with something short, a collection of short stories.
Good idea. Less commitment than a long novel.
Exactly. Now, let's practice some useful sentences about daily routines.
Yes, let's give our listeners some practical examples they can use.
A very common question is, what time do you usually wake up?
What time do you usually wake up, Emma?
I usually wake up at 6:15. What about you?
I usually wake up at 7. See, what time do you usually works for any time question.
Exactly. What time do you usually go to bed? Eat lunch. Leave for work.
Very versatile. Let's do another one.
Okay, a good question about habits is, do you usually have breakfast?
Do you usually have breakfast, Emma?
Yes, I usually have oatmeal and fruit. Do you usually is great for habits?
I don't usually have breakfast, to be honest.
See? You can answer yes, I usually, or no, I don't usually.
Simple, but useful. What's next?
Let's practice how long questions. How long does it take you to get ready?
How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
It takes me about 45 minutes. How about you?
It takes me about 30 minutes. So, it takes me is the pattern.
Right. It takes me 10 minutes to shower. It takes me 5 minutes to eat.
This is useful for any activity that has a duration.
Now let's do questions with what. What do you do first thing in the morning?
What do you do first thing in the morning, Emma?
First thing in the morning, I feed my cat Luna.
First thing means immediately, the very first action.
Exactly. What do you do first thing? I check my phone.
Guilty as charged.
Let's practice questions about frequency. How often do you exercise?
How often do you exercise?
I exercise every day, yoga in the morning, and sometimes a walk.
How often do you works for any activity? How often do you cook?
I cook almost every day. How often do you order takeout?
Too often, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
How often can be answered with every day, twice a week, rarely, never.
Very useful for talking about habits and routines.
Now a question about likes and preferences. What's your favorite part of the day?
What's your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part is the morning, when everything is quiet.
My favorite part is the evening, when work is done.
What's your favorite is great for learning about preferences.
Let's do one about problems. I can't find my keys.
Oh no, where did you put them?
I don't remember. I can't find my keys is very useful for daily life.
Yes, I can't find my phone. I can't find my wallet.
Did you check your bag?
Good follow-up question. Always check your bag.
One more. How do you get to work?
How do you get to work, Ben?
I take the subway. How do you get to is about transportation.
I work from home, so I just walk to my office.
Lucky you. I take the bus, I drive, I cycle are all good answers.
Let's do one more pattern. What are you doing this weekend?
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm cleaning my apartment and meeting a friend for yoga.
What are you doing is asking about future plans.
Yes. What are you doing tonight? Tomorrow? Next week?
These sentence patterns will help a lot in daily conversation.
Now let's go through some essential phrases for daily routines.
Great idea. We'll go through about 30 phrases you can use every day.
Let's start with morning phrases. I wake up.
I wake up means you stop sleeping and open your eyes.
I wake up at 7. I wake up early. I wake up late.
Next one. I turn off my alarm.
Turn off means stop. My alarm makes noise and I turn it off.
I get out of bed.
That means you stand up and leave the bed. Time to start the day.
I stretch my body.
You move your arms and legs to wake up your muscles.
I make my bed.
You arrange the sheets and blankets to look nice and tidy.
I go to the bathroom.
Everyone does this in the morning. First stop of the day.
I brush my teeth.
With a toothbrush and toothpaste, usually for 2 minutes.
I wash my face.
With water and soap. It helps you feel fresh and awake.
I take a shower.
You stand under water to clean your body, hot or cold.
I dry my hair.
With a towel or a hairdryer. Important before leaving the house.
I get dressed.
You put on your clothes for the day. Get dressed is one phrase.
I have breakfast.
Have breakfast means eat your morning meal. Have can mean eat.
I drink coffee.
Or tea or juice. Drink is for liquids. I drink water.
I read the news.
Maybe on your phone or computer, checking what's happening in the world.
I feed my pet.
If you have a cat or dog, you give them food.
I leave the house.
You go outside. You're not in the house anymore.
I lock the door.
Very important for safety. You use a key to lock it.
Now some commute phrases. I walk to the station.
Station can be bus station, train station, subway station.
I take the bus.
Take is used with transportation. Take the bus, take the subway.
I drive to work.
You use your car. I drive means you are the driver.
I arrive at work.
Arrive means you get there. You reach your destination.
Work phrases now. I turn on my computer.
Turn on is the opposite of turn off. Start the machine.
I check my emails.
You look at your messages to see if anything is important.
I have a meeting.
Have a meeting means you go to a discussion with colleagues.
I take a break.
You stop working for a short time, maybe for coffee.
I eat lunch.
The midday meal. I eat lunch at noon.
I finish work.
You're done for the day. Time to go home.
Evening phrases now. I get home.
You arrive at your house. Get home is very common.
I change my clothes.
You take off work clothes and put on comfortable ones.
I cook dinner.
You prepare the evening meal. Cook means prepare food with heat.
I watch TV.
You look at television programs. Relax time.
I do the dishes.
You wash the plates and cups after eating. Not fun, but necessary.
I relax.
You rest and do calm activities. No stress.
Night phrases. I get ready for bed.
You prepare to sleep. Brush teeth, change clothes.
I go to bed.
You get into bed to sleep. Time for rest.
I fall asleep.
You start sleeping. Close your eyes and sleep begins.
I sleep in.
You stay in bed later than usual, usually on weekends.
I have a nightmare.
A bad dream. I have a nightmare sometimes.
I sleep well.
You have good quality sleep. I slept well last night. Those are all essential phrases for daily routines.
So many useful phrases. Now, let's review some important vocabulary.
Good idea. We used a lot of useful words. Let's start with routine.
Routine. R-O-U-T-I-N-E. What does routine mean?
A routine is the usual things you do regularly, often in the same order.
My morning routine includes shower, breakfast, and commute to work.
Next word is snooze. S-N-O-O-Z-E.
Snooze is the button on your alarm that gives you extra sleep time.
I hit the snooze button and slept 10 more minutes.
Next is commute. C-O-M-M-U-T-E.
Your commute is the trip you make to work and back home.
My commute is 45 minutes by subway.
The word cafeteria. C-A-F-E-T-E-R-I-A.
A cafeteria is a place at work or school where you can buy food.
I eat lunch in the office cafeteria every day.
Deadline. D-E-A-D-L-I-N-E.
A deadline is the time by which you must finish something.
I have a deadline tomorrow, so I need to work late tonight.
Takeout. T-A-K-E-O-U-T.
Takeout is food you buy at a restaurant but eat at home.
I was too tired to cook, so I ordered takeout.
What about flexible? F-L-E-X-I-B-L-E.
Flexible means able to bend or change easily.
I'm not very flexible, so yoga is hard for me.
The word overwhelmed. O-V-E-R-W-H-E-L-M-E-D.
Overwhelmed means you have too much to deal with and feel stressed.
I felt overwhelmed when I saw 50 emails this morning.
Cardio. C-A-R-D-I-O.
Cardio is exercise that makes your heart beat faster.
Walking, running, and cycling are all types of cardio.
Boundaries. B-O-U-N-D-A-R-I-E-S.
Boundaries are limits you set to protect your time or energy.
I set boundaries by not checking work email after 7 p.m.
Decompress. D-E-C-O-M-P-R-E-S-S.
Decompress means to relax and release stress after a busy time.
After work, I need time to decompress before doing anything else.
Binge. B-I-N-G-E.
Binge means to do something excessively, usually watch many shows.
I binged the entire series in one weekend.
Wind down. That's 2 words.
Wind down means to gradually relax before sleep.
I like to wind down by reading a book before bed.
Stimulating. Stimulating.
Stimulating means exciting or activating your mind.
Don't watch stimulating content right before bed.
Night owl, 2 words.
A night owl is someone who is more active and alert at night.
I'm a night owl. I come alive after dark.
Early bird, 2 words.
An early bird is someone who wakes up early and is productive in the morning.
I'm an early bird. I love mornings.
Great vocabulary review. So much useful stuff today.
We covered a lot today about daily routines.
We talked about morning routines, work routines, and evening routines.
We learned practical sentence patterns for asking about habits.
And we went through essential phrases for every part of the day.
Plus, all that vocabulary about daily life.
Listeners, you now have so many tools to talk about your day in English.
Remember, you don't have to memorize everything at once.
Just pick a few phrases and use them tomorrow.
Practice makes progress, as they say.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
We want to hear from you in the comments.
Here's the question. What is your favorite part of your daily routine?
Think about your day. What moment do you really enjoy?
For example, you could say, my favorite part is my morning coffee.
Or you could say, I enjoy my evening walk after work.
Maybe my favorite part is when I wind down with a book before bed.
Use vocabulary from today if you can.
There's no wrong answer. We just want to hear about your day.
We read every single comment, and it makes us so happy.
Seriously, your comments are the best part of our day.
So please share. What's your favorite part of your routine?
All right, Emma, I think that's everything for today.
What a long episode. Thank you for staying with us until the end.
Yes, thank you so much. We know your time is valuable.
If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button.
And subscribe if you haven't already. We make new videos every week.
Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Your support really helps us make more content for you.
We're so grateful for this community of learners.
Learning English is a journey, and we're happy to walk with you.
Every step counts. Every word you learn matters.
So keep going. You're doing amazing.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
See you in the next video.
Goodbye from Emma.
And goodbye from Ben.
Have a wonderful day and sweet dreams tonight.
Bye for now.